I would like to know when you recommend that the CSM is introduced to a new or potential customer, and what are the risks?
Right, another great question. That, and I think we talked about earlier on getting success involved in the sales cycle. So I would always say, particularly for your larger deals, if you're dealing with enterprise customers, bring them in towards the end of the sales cycle, maybe at 75, 80% commitment. So before signature, but not at that. They're not there performing a pre-sales role. They're there to help formalize the relationship side of it, make sure that things are set up for success. So I'd absolutely, I'd always say bring them in, if subject to resourcing, of course, the practical side of that, but bring them in towards the end of the sales cycle. So when there's a kind of a 75, 80% commitment, I think that's a good point to bring them in. I think you could look, as I said, at success being involved in every single sale, that there is a resource problem that could generate. But have a look at your segments. You may make a decision that according to the custom segments you've got set up, that you want success involved in your higher tier segments and not your lower tier ones. It may be some mix in the middle. You may bring different levels of success people in at the top end and not so at the bottom end. But I think always bear it in mind. Right? And I think what I'd always see the success team as being is they're there to help close the deal. They're not there to kind of initiate that sales transaction. They're there as the closer to give the customer the confidence that we're, as a business, not just success, but as a business, we're going to deliver their outcomes, and that that someone that's going to help look after that, someone's going to be responsible for that, but it helps maintain that relationship. On the point, what are the risks? I think there are no risks other than resourcing. I really do think if you've trained your success guys up the correct way, your sales team are selling on outcomes. What you don't want to do, so is there a risk that your success person could come in, potentially discredit what your sales guys have said? They won't deliver this. That could happen, but if you work beforehand to make sure everyone's aligned there, you can minimize the risk of that. So I think the biggest risk is around the resourcing side of it.
Right, and we've done some trainings where we've had salespeople in the room with the customer success team, and there was a real hesitation on the part of the sales folks to have customer success in because they were afraid that they would say or do anything that would slow down the sale or would position it incorrectly. And I think that's such a dangerous mindset, that overcoming that and say, look, customer success may actually help you close it, and they may help it close faster by giving the customer some additional confidence as well. But that also comes back to as a salesperson, you've done a proper job of setting the customer up and having the discussions on business outcomes and the value that you will create, then that shouldn't be a risk at all.
I think that's a great point. It goes back to that mind shift change, doesn't it? It goes back to making people think differently. We're bringing success in to help close the deal. That they're not there as blockers. You want them to close the deal. And I think that goes back to showing the level of relationship you've got there with the different teams.